Hey guys, it's Jamie Grace, and apparently I don't talk enough about being single and why we're all so single. So I figured my last video, well, a couple videos ago, why a bunch of 20 and 30 somethings are still single needed a part 2. So this video is not at all about young people that don't want to be married figuring out why they're single. If you will just kind of take a little survey around a lot of young people, especially those that are Christians, you'll find that most of us desire marriage, want to be married, but a lot of us that still desire that are still single. Now, there is, of course, something beautiful about being content where you are and being so satisfied, but still being expectant and hopeful that God could do something awesome in your life when it comes to like a spouse. And that's where I am. I'm so cool where I am, but I'd be so cool with having a husband. That'd be super awesome. But apparently, a lot of us that feel that way are still single, and I want to figure out why. Ultimately, I think it all goes down to what God's plan is for our lives, but I think a lot of times, as I said in my last video, it has to do with titles, pursuing, the lack of pursuing, yada, 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 yada. And because of your comments and the conversation that we had, which some of it was so cool and enlightening and encouraging and convicting and challenging, I have developed 3 more reasons why I think we're single. I think a lot of us are looking for Mr. or Miss Perfect. We are looking for that person that's going to show up and they are going to be spouse material from the minute they walk into our lives. Well, let me just tell you, that is not realistic. I think it can be difficult sometimes, at least for women like me. So my dad is an exceptional human. Both of my parents are, but when it comes to me as a woman, wanting to have a marriage like my parents, I look at the man that my dad is at 50 years old and I pray that I marry someone like that. But I have to remember that the man that my dad is at 50, it took him 50 years to become that. So at 24 years old, I can't expect every 24 or 25-year-old guy that walks into my life to have the same character that my father now has at 50 years old. I'm not saying to settle for anyone, but we can't be so consumed with who they could be, and say oh, they could be better, they could do better, they could do this. Yeah, they could, but so could you. So just trust that you can grow and walk together and know that no one's gonna be perfect from the moment that you meet them. Number 2, or number 7, I guess if you're counting part 1, but number 2, I think a lot of us are really picky. One of the most common questions I get when people ask me about my dream guy, they always ask, do I want a guy that can sing? Now, 2 of my dear friends who also happen to be in my favorite band, they're called Johnny Swim. They're a husband and wife. They're the cutest couple ever, and they're the best. Seriously, my favorite couples in the world. It's my mom and dad, and then all my grandparents, and then my sister and her husband, and then Abner and Amanda from Johnny Swim, and then Steph and Aisha Curry. Anyways, so Johnny Swim, it's a husband and wife. They both sing and write songs and play instruments, and that is the coolest thing ever. But that is not the number 1 on my list for my husband to be able to sing. As much as that will be amazing to be like a little junior Johnny Swim, that is not the main thing that I am looking for when it comes to, my husband. I am truly way more particular about character than I am about his skills and his talent. I'm way more particular about character than I am about, how cool he is or how cool his clothes are, or how much money he makes, or if he even has a college degree. People say that to me all the time, oh, you're Jamie Grace, you have to marry a guy that has a PhD or a guy that makes this amount of money. Look, I would rather have a guy that dropped out of college, that does not make a whole lot of money, that loves the Lord with all of his heart and is working toward being the best man that he could possibly be, than have a guy that makes a whole lot of money, has 2, 3, 4 degrees, but is arrogant and doesn't really care about me or my well-being or my family. You know what I mean? Obviously, there's rich and awesome people. I'm not saying that rich people aren't great people, and I'm not saying that just because you are not as financially well off that you're fantastic. But I think so often we are so picky about the wrong things. What's more important, money or faith? What's more important, a degree or kindness? What's more important, a 5-bedroom house or loyalty? Where are we being picky? Where are we choosing to be picky? And I think a lot of us are single because we're picky about the wrong things. Last but not least, I think a lot of us are single because there's really not a lot of places to meet young like-minded people, you know. I've been out of college now for 4 years, and there were some solid, you know, dudes while I was in college, but that just didn't happen while I was in college. And no offense, I didn't really have like a hardcore crush on any of the dudes I went to school with. And then once I was out of school, you know, everyone that I work with is like a grown-up. Like, y'all, my coworkers, and y'all don't be offended by this, my coworkers are like mercy me. They're like grown-ups that are all like married that are like more so like mentors to me than like, you know, the same age, and then their kids are like 10. So it's not like I work with anybody that's like an option. They're all gonna beat me up for that, I know it. And then my church, I love my church, but there's really not a ton of guys my age that go to my church. So where am I supposed to go to meet young people? I don't drink, so you're not gonna find me at a bar. I don't like to party because I'd rather be in my house watching Netflix, and maybe that just means I'm socially awkward, or maybe it means I don't wanna go to a club because I've never been, but apparently you have to pay to dance. Y'all, I could dance up in my house for free. You know how many record players I got in here? I don't have to go to no club. I don't have time for that. Be dancing and getting all sweaty. No, oh no, messing up my hair. I ain't got time for that. No, 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 no. And what if they play a song I don't like? Do I have to, how am I supposed to go up to DJ and be like, excuse me, this is not inappropriate for my spirit. I'm trying to keep, this is the heart of modesty, DJ. So there really aren't that many places to meet a lot of young Christian single people, at least not to my knowledge. They're just not a lot of places. So ultimately, my solution for this, I don't have one. I just wanted to share my thoughts. I really do love this conversation though. I want to know, why do you think that so many of us are single? Why do you think there are a lot of 20s and 30-year-olds that want to be married but have yet to find that person, or have yet to, you know, settle down with that person? Why do you guys think that is? I would love to hear your thoughts. Hey, so that was the question of the week, and I hope you will answer it in the comments below. I hope you had an amazing weekend, and I hope that as today is Memorial Day, that we have all taken some time to just pay respect and be thankful and grateful for the men and women who have fought so bravely for this country that we live in. I know that a lot of people in my family are in the military or were in the military, and I know that it is definitely a sacrifice. So thank you for all that you all do, and just praying like peace and rest over all of the families who have lost a loved one, especially while they were in the military. So much love to you all. I hope you truly do have a beautiful week, and thank you for watching The Jamie Gray Show. I love you so much, and I miss you already. Bye.